Be aware of opposition, but go in there with the sentiment of, like, he used Jordan Henderson and used Jude Bellingham as examples about having no respect. I don't mean be disrespectful. Look at yourselves and go, we're the game in town. We're the ones you got to worry about, not the other way around. And I think he's absolutely right. And where does that come from? Where does that culture come from? Where does that attitude come from? Where does that disposition and outlook come from? Surely it must come from the person that controls the team, mustn't it? Surely it must come from the culture that you engender in the people that play for you.
Right, so I'm going to get to that person, Gareth Southgate, very shortly. Your opening salvo this morning, you've come out saying this was an opportunity missed. Undoubtedly an opportunity missed. It can't not be. Robbie Shearman, Jim, Simon, good morning. Simon, absolutely nailing it. On Southgate and England, Qatar 2022. Simon, you are 100% correct with your analysis of it. Another England fan, Simon, bang on about potential. It's a word used to hide failure unless it delivers something. So many people coming out with you. Simon, I'm looking at the messages. I'm looking at the calls that are coming in. So we're going to have our hands full from 10:30 onwards, but that's what we want. So at the end of the day, Southgate is still there. And it was a World Cup semi-final in Russia. Then it was a Euros final at Wembley. And then it was a quarter-final exit in Qatar 2022. But the future of Gareth Southgate, Simon, let's concentrate on that. We'll take this up to 10:30. Is there any real argument to say that he shouldn't continue and take England to Euro 2024?
Well, let's be clear, he's not a failure, and the characterisation to suggest he is would be inappropriate. But there's a difference between not being a failure and being a winner, right? And what we're looking for is a winner. So what you've got is somebody that has maintained and managed a very amenable, balanced, well-presented environment where England players relate to the media relate to England players. The feeling is back in situ where we've had a few years of being disillusioned and demoralised by England performances. We've also had some compelling performances. 96, I know we go back a quarter of a century and that's pretty sad to do so, but Venables brought about the same sort of feeling, the feel-good factor, for a different reason. He let people run wild. He let the people go to Hong Kong and behave themselves in an appalling fashion, yet managed to galvanise a team. Yeah. Look, he's already got a contract. So I don't know why we were listening to some preposterous observations during the week, the build-up towards the French game, and post it that he's going to get an improved contract. I don't understand where the hell in God's name that's coming from. But he's got a contract. They gave him it. They already predetermined his outcome. Whatever you did in this World Cup, it was one of two things would happen. You were going to get paid or you were going to get made. And you're going to get made for another 2 years. That's what he's got. So
he's there for 2024?
Well, unless he decides not to. I think there's a distinct possibility he'll resign. I think he'll look at it and go, maybe it's time for me to change. Maybe I can, I can show myself in domestic football and be a domestic manager, which I think is doubtable, is debatable. But that's a different discussion. But then it's very easy to sit and go, right, okay, who's next? Who is next? If we've got a group of players that are as capable as we think they are, then all you need is a circus master to make sure that they're pointing in the right direction and performing the acts that you want them to perform. Now, you can look around that list, but which one are we going to talk about? Pochettino at 50 years of age, why would he want to manage the English national team when he probably thinks there's a domestic job in it? He's a multi-millionaire in his own right. Why would he need to do the England job? What's the emotional investment in it for him?
Would he take it? I would say yes.
Well, why? Why would you take it? You're an Argentinian. You've got a fortune in the bank from PSG and your jobs that you've done.
Does that come into it, though?
I think it must do, because why would you want to necessarily manage
England? We're always told is one of the top jobs.
For Englishmen, yeah, I suspect. Of course it is, because it's the pinnacle of one's career to manage your country, to play for your country, to be involved in any aspect of representing your country has to be the ultimate, but not at 40 years of age or 50 years of age, but somewhere when you're coming towards the end of it. Now, Gareth Southgate was that enigma, wasn't he? And he landed in a space because Sam Allardyce imploded, did a ridiculous set of circumstances, and Gareth Southgate came in at the time when the media went, we can't even be bothered to write about this bleeding team, they're so poor. And he built a culture underneath it. So he came from a position of nobody really cared and nobody had any expectations. Well, but now they should. This is the third tournament. Yeah. And my belief is if he stays in the job should be, do we think he can win the European Championships in 2024? And my answer would be, the definition of insanity is having the same person do the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
He was asked about what he thought he would do next. This was his response post-match.
Whenever I've finished these tournaments, I've needed time to make correct decisions, because emotionally you go through so many different feelings, and the energy that it takes through these tournaments is enormous. So I want to make the right decision, whatever that is, for the team, for England, for the FA, I've got to be sure that whatever decision I make is the right one, and I think it's right to take a bit of time to do that, because I know in the past how my feelings have fluctuated in the immediate aftermath of tournaments.
You see, and this is him speaking from post-tournament experience as England manager.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too hasty because my mind's here, there and everywhere. And he's in the same situation again today.
But who determines someone's engagement? He works for the FA. The FA should be the one saying to him, well, let's have a review about what we want to do with you. And the FA have made their cards pretty clear by giving him a pre-tournament contract, which again I think was absurd. And I don't know why people think that there's a necessity to reward football people for things they haven't yet done, and things that they don't do it and they still get reward for it. And it's not me being sort of gnarly mouthed about England footballers or footballers first, full stop. There was a chance. Different managers, and I don't care how this one gets perceived. We were 1-0 in a game. The game was beginning to change. We'd had a 40-minute period or a 35-minute period of quite significant domination. Didn't create enough chances, but put ourselves in a situation where we were in control of the game. It began to change. And at that moment, a different manager that had winning in his DNA. And of course people want to win. He was a professional footballer. He played for Palace, he played for Villa, he played for England. But there's a certain type of leader, a certain type of person that carries an arrogance that believes that winning is their entitlement. And there was a need to flick a switch. Okay, 75 minutes in, we're suddenly going off the boil. The French are beginning to make a little bit of an impression on us. How are we going to win this game? What's going to make the change for us to make the French start to worry more about what we're doing, then begin to think the balance is changing? Yeah. And we don't change. And we change like we've done in every game after something happened to us. And that's not what, again. And that's not what winning's about. Surely winning is about, you don't get punched. If you're a boxer, you don't wait till you get punched on the face to determine whether you're going to punch somebody back. Right. You're looking to knock somebody out. And in this analogy, England were controlling the game, but we were ebbing away. We were beginning to lose the grasp of it. Yeah. And maybe a Rashford or maybe a Sterling coming on and changing it and making French go, oh, we've got something else to worry about now. What are we going to do here? Rather than let them build up the momentum, Giroud gets a chance, and then the moment Giroud scored that chance, I turned to our speaker and said, they're building up again, and I worry that they're going to score.
And did.
They're going to score.
So the harsh reality is this: it's France-Morocco, and it's Croatia, of course, against Argentina. They're still out there in Qatar. England have come back to the cold here at Christmas. So where's your head with it this morning? Was the World Cup an opportunity missed for England, or is this a glorious failure where England come out with their reputations enhanced? Have a think, give us a call.